look so mad.
Do I look mad?
You did. There you go. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the West 7th Wool Podcast. This is a show about our local yarn shop here in Fort Worth, Texas, West 7th Wool.
All right, so what we have to talk about this week?
We have a whole lot of new yarn.
We do. Well, first, let's talk about classes.
Oh, yeah, we do that.
Yeah, we have several classes that we're offering, but some of them have already either started or are full, so we will talk about things that you can still sign up for. We have, for example, Intro to Spinning Wheel we're offering again. That's a 2-part class taught by Mel Mills, who's our spinning instructor. And then at the end of the month, she is also teaching wheel maintenance, where she just goes over basic ways to maintain your wheel.
Great.
Yep.
I know mine, I don't use it all the time, so when I get it out and use it, it needs to be oiled, dusted. The wood probably needs to be conditioned. So Mel goes over all of that. If you have an old wheel or a secondhand wheel that you've purchased, you haven't used it in a while, yeah, it's a great class. Great class to get your wheel in top ship shop shape.
Ship shop
shape? I don't know.
Wow.
Tip-top shape?
There you go.
Tip-top shape. Okay. And then also, we've got Kristen doing Rigid Heddle. Has that started?
It's not started yet, but it's
full. Okay. She'll do it again.
Yeah, whenever classes fill up, we will continue to offer them so long as there continues to be interest. So I think we've actually got a little bit of a waiting list for that one.
So
that
you
will be
can still
offered
call and ask to be on the wait list, and then before we put the list publicly, we'll contact you first with the new dates. And then, of course, we've got our beginning knitting and beginning crochet classes on Saturday mornings.
That's correct.
Taught by Karen Brown. All right. It's out of the way.
Cool.
All right. Any interesting events?
We do have an interesting event coming up, but that is not going to be for a minute. We've got the yarn crawl coming in September.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and start talking about it now, because why not? We've got a lot of events lined up. So
a lot of trunk shows. Yeah.
So that should be fun. Should we go ahead and start talking about who's going to be here?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the first weekend we are going to have Leon Alexander.
Alexander Davidoff. Leon Alexander. Moon Tower Dye Works.
Yes.
Lazy Cat Yarn.
Lazy Cat.
And then the next weekend?
The next weekend, the second weekend, will be Madeline Tosh all weekend long. And then we're also going to have Petra.
Breakstone. And then maybe someone else. We'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then also during the duration of the yarn crawl, as in previous years, we're going to have Signature Needles as well.
Signature Needle Trunk Show. And I hear that they have a new 9-inch circular. We're going to ask Pretty please, can those be in our trunk show?
I know who's getting one if it is.
Are you going to?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. What about our new stuff?
Okay, we have got a lot of new stuff in, so we're kind of tight on time today, but I was like, yeah, we definitely need to get the podcast in because we have a lot to talk about.
Then let's start.
All right.
Notions or yarn?
Let's go yarn first, notions second. Okay, so we got fiber seed in. If y'all have been watching us on social media, you've probably seen that by now. We've got it in a couple of different bases. We've got their fingering weight yarn, DK, and worsted.
And is that all 90% superwash, 10% nylon?
I believe so.
Nice. I think I talked about it on the show before. I made a sweater out of the fingering weight. Like a top. It's not a sweater, it's a top. And it was a little bit baggy. And I just went ahead and put that thing in a garment bag, a lingerie bag, and put it in with my regular wash. Put it through the washer and the dryer in the bag. And it fits perfect now. I should have worn it.
Nice. Oh, well.
Yeah. I won't say it shrunk, but it like tightened up just enough. Yeah.
So here it is. These are just a few different colors we have. This is it in Sprout Sock. Yeah.
American merino, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's super springy too. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
There's that.
And I did wash and dry it, and it's nice.
It is fine. Here it is in DK. I neglected to pick up some worsted, but I mean it's just this, but slightly different. So we have the same colors in both DK and worsted, but
Got a tight
fingering.
twist.
It does, but fingering we have kind of more of a smorgasbord. So
We already need to order more.
yeah, we do. So we'll have to put that on the to-do list.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, then we also got restock from Emma's Yarn. These are all the people that we had talked to at TNNA, kind of all,
them.
not all of them, there are more, but I mean, kind of, a lot of it's
Some.
kind of descending on the shop around the same time.
Oh yeah, the orders are coming in. It's just in time for yarn crawl.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But get here.
definitely,
If there's
definitely.
a color that you want, get here.
So we've got fingering weight and DK and Emma's as well, along with some mohair.
We have a little bit of mohair left.
Yeah, so this is the fingering weight.
Nice
Just a
for
few-
an as-if tee. I need to make one of those.
And these are a few of the new colors that we have. We've had it
What are they?
previously.
Can you say those colors?
This is Tealicious.
Teal.
Tealicious.
That's beautiful.
This is Cherry Merlot. And this is Vacay.
Nice.
And then we also have it in DK. Again, a few new colors to the shop. Oh, wait. This is Fiber Seed. But, okay, DK, Emma's Yarn. This is After Party.
That's
And
nice.
this is Happily Ever After.
I like DK. Knits up fast.
All right, cool. And then finally, what just came into the shop and hits the floor on Tuesday is going to be Forbidden Fibers. What?
I like how you get so excited about this.
It's good stuff.
It is really nice.
Yeah, so we have it in 4 bases. We've got both fingering and fingering with Stellina, and then also, again, DK and DK with Stellina. So this is the regular fingering weight. I've got like this giant pile of yarn growing over here. This is the fingering with Stellina. And then here's a DK.
That's DK. This is DK with Stellina.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep, this is fingering Stellina, and then DK with Stellina. They got jumbled in the basket.
He's got a thing against Stellina, but I really like it.
I don't need the
Pretty that
bling.
is. It's
Spin
like
it.
a starry night. That's beautiful. That's a DK. Would make a nice. Oh, I forgot the top already. I forget all the patterns.
So many patterns.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so those are some of the new yarns. I
All
think
right.
you
We have some new
something too.
notions too. This is a stitch marker bracelet from Catrinkles. Cute little stitch markers that custom to. I guess the blend is custom to our shop because she had us pick out the little shapes and colors. So we have the bracelets come with these blue ones.
Yes, we picked out
Oh yeah.
the bracelets.
And then we also have some sock stitch markers that will fit on. You can slide them onto the bracelet. It's like it's like a lot of the charm bracelets. The little ends, the ball screws off, and you can take these off. Great for lace work. They're small. I would say they would fit maybe to a size 5 needle. Maybe I haven't tested them though, but usually your lace work is done in a smaller needle, even if you're doing usually a fingering weight lace project is done on a smallish needle. Great stitch markers, and you can get some sock ones to add to it. Mix
Nice.
and match. I think she on her site has some mix and match ones too. You can just pick up some and add them to your bracelet as you like. Match your outfits. We've got some more Texas buttons. We've got these cool little things. I think they're calling them needle minders. Is that what they're calling them, Hunter?
I believe so.
But they're magnetic, So you can, they've got a front and a back. You can pin this to your bag, to your shirt if you like. And when you're taking out your stitch markers, you can put those on there.
Yeah, the gang has been pinning them to their aprons, and then
Oh, the gang.
The gang.
The Yarn Shop gang.
Yeah, my crew.
Squad. The squad.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with squad. Yarn Shop squad. That's cool. So, I like those.
Cool. What else you got?
I've got a wraps per inch butterfly and a wraps per inch with our name on it. And what are these good for, Hunter? Do you know?
Is good for determining your yarn weight if you don't know if you lost the label, something like that.
Exactly. So if you're a spinner and you spin your own yarn, everybody spins differently. And even if you're going for a DK weight, it's hard to tell whether you achieve DK or sport. So you can use this to test out your wraps per inch and see what you're spinning. And then also, if you've lost the label to your yarn, or if you believe that the label is lying to you,
which
sometimes they do,
mm-hmm.
you can use this as a wraps per inch and figure out what gauge. And also, some people, me included, I will get a skein of yarn in a hank like this, and I'll wind it up into a ball, or have him wind it up into a ball using a machine or whatever, and then I'll decide it's not the right yarn to use, and so I'll just leave it all caked up or balled up. And if you leave it like that for too long, and I'm not sure what that magic number is, it's different for each yarn, your wraps per inch, your gauge could actually change. It could get a little bit thinner due to the stress of being in that tight ball. So it might be worth it if you've got some yarn that you've caked up or balled up like that, and it's been in the closet or wherever you keep your yarn for a couple of years. It might be worth measuring the gauge to make sure that when you get it out to knit something, that it's still gonna knit up to that gauge. All right, so those are those. We've got a needle gauge and a stitches per inch gauge. And I like the big one because you should be making big swatches, not little swatches. You should be making big swatches. All right. Oh, and we also have this Tenderfoot Easy Care Merino blend. 75 merino lamb's wool, 25 nylon.
That is from Euro Yarns.
From Euro Yarns, subsidiary of KFI, I believe, Knitting Fever. A nice solid color. These are kind of heathery, but I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been noticing a lot of solid color sock patterns on the social medias, and they've got beautiful cables and beautiful stitch patterns that just don't show up in variegated or stripes. So these solid colors, kind of rustic, really remind me of some of those new sock patterns.
Yeah, rustic is a good way to describe it, and those are only a handful of the colors that we have.
Yeah, and what, $15 for how many yards? 410 yards, so $15 for a pair of socks. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
And then also, in terms of notions and stitch markers, we have the new Cocoa Knits.
Oh, I've been using those. I really like them.
The colored split ring markers. You get a sense of how the shape. It's not open.
Do you have some that are open?
I can grab some. There you go.
Ah, perfect. Okay, so they're metal. They look like this, so they will stick to the needle minders. There's a whole box. What are there, 60 in these?
60.
Yeah. Rainbow color. They look like this. And to mark something, I'm just going to mark, this is a piece of crochet, but you could use it on knitting. Same concept. You just slide it into the stitch that you would like to mark. So I'm going to slide it into there, twist it, and it stays in.
Yeah, Kristen was saying that she really liked it for use in crochet as well. So
this is crochet.
Yep,
and I used it this weekend on a knitting project to mark my increases and decreases, to mark my decreases on some sleeves. and some raglans.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to keep, because I didn't print out this pattern. I just used it on my phone. So I didn't mark it off or anything, use hashtags. I just used these, and I was able to count how many decreases really quickly that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you can mark your row. So if it says decrease every 4 rows, you've got this stitch marked, and you can count up 1, 2, 3, 4 from there, and you know. They're great. And they slide right out. If I can do it backwards and on camera. There we go. Yay! Alright, so those are our new products.
Cool.
What do we do next? Finished things?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any finished objects?
I've been really busy, as you guys can see. So, no, I do not. Do you?
And how?
Oh my, she's been busy.
First of all, I finished the cat bed. Last week I told you I was going to make a cat bed out of one of the big balls of wow wool, and I did. And I did, and I left it on the floor, and you might have seen one of the Instagram pictures of the cat kind of trying to get in it.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it in.
Okay. And then I think they're fighting over it, so I might need to make another.
I like Benji's odds.
So, and then I finished this crochet sweater, Blurred Lines, that I was working on last time. It's fitted. It fits really nicely. It's got super long sleeves. I ran out of yarn. You can tell.
It's supposed to be a fade sweater anyway.
It's supposed to be a fade. Y'all, this is, 5 skeins of yarn. 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavy.
And to be clear, whenever we tell you guys that crochet takes more yarn than knitting, example A.
It does. I know I've seen an article out there where somebody swatched like different crochet stitches and knitting stitches, and they're like, it's the same. It takes the same amount of yarn. No. No. Nobody's going to wear a swatch. When it comes down to it, crochet does take more yarn. The result is beautiful. This is a nice, squishy, I think it looks sporty with the different color arms. It's got, and I could have made these arms 3/4 length and been done with it, but I went ahead and followed it to the letter, to the pattern to the letter, and it's got these thumb holes, so it goes really, it fits your arm really, really low, like this, so it's going to be really warm in the winter. And you could cuff it, you could roll it up like that, because it's the same. It's crochet ribbing is nice. It's almost, I won't say, yeah, I will. This was faster than a knit sweater, considering the weight of the yarn. These are half double crochets, all half double crochets, even the ribbing. There's some short rows on the back. I'd never done crochet short rows before, but they're super easy. It was a fun pattern. I'd do it again. I might even actually fade one the right way again. But you gotta have a lot of yarn. A lot.
Thought you could get by with 4 skeins of finger and weight yarn.
All right, what else do I have? I showed the baby dress last time. I think we talked about this last time. There are several women in my family who are expecting. So I finished this baby dress in Cascade. What is it called? Ultrapima. So it's cotton, and I blocked it. Remember I was saying last time that I didn't know about the lace and how it would look. It looks great. So, and I added little buttons on the back. So there's a little dress. Hold that for me. And I made a little sweater to go over it, a little cardigan. Actually, I don't know if it's going to go over it because the cotton's a little bulky, so she could put it over a different little onesie or something. this is the... Now I forgot. Hunter will drop in the pattern name. This is an Alana Dacos pattern. Never Not Knitting is her podcast and her business name. Chloe. It's called Chloe. And it is different from hers in that I added a button band. And I picked up just one row and bound off on the neck just to give it a little bit more stability on the raglan sleeves. That's all I did differently, was added a button band. It's super cute, super fast, and I used I used Cascade 220 merino for this. So all of this is machine washable, although I think I would either steam this, or maybe I'll block it out again for her if she needs to wash it, because you really do have to block the ruffles. Am I boring you?
Sorry.
All right, and this one I just finished this morning. It really, really needs to be blocked, but this is the Little Dude cardigan. If you've ever seen The Big Lebowski, this is Jeff Bridges' character, the Dude, and this is his cardigan. Baby size, wee baby sized. The adult version of this has been out for a while. I know a couple of people who've made it. I've seen it in action.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first baby one I've seen. And if you look at the pictures, this is the pattern of the Dude sweater. Maybe you can drop that in there too.
Okay.
I have a sister who really likes that movie, so hopefully she will like this.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she's going to like it.
I went back. I've steeked before a couple times. I have done some steeking before, never on a garment. So I went back and I bought the Knit Stars. You're about to yawn again. You're fighting it. He's fighting it.
I did not yawn.
I bought the Knit Stars video series, and our friend Ann Budd does one, and it's fantastic. She does one on steeking, and she shows you how to put a zipper in and a button band in. And one of the things that she does that I had not seen before is to cover up the little fringe from the steeked stitches after you cut it. She actually knits a small band of maybe, like, how many stitches? I think this is 3. So she knits a small band of like 4 to 5, just a stockinette strip, and tacks that on so that it's covered. Alternately, you can sew on a piece of ribbon, grosgrain ribbon. I've done that before, just to cover these, and especially since it's right there on the inside, I think that's what I'll do is, I think since it's a little boy, maybe I'll knit a little strip, and attach it right there so that you don't see these raw edges. Otherwise, I think the inside color work, I don't think it's going to get caught on anything. I think it'll be fine. Yay! Especially after I soak it and block it, they'll kind of lay down even more. But I really like it. It was fun. It was fast. When did I ask you to bring home this yarn? What day?
Was it possibly Friday?
And today's Monday?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 days. Cute. All right. What are you going to work on next?
I'm going to continue working on my socks. They're in progress. I won't bore you with that. But then also, on my to-do list is I've got a sock tube.
Oh, you do? Who made that sock tube?
You did. With our sock machine that we have.
What yarn is that? I like it.
Okay, this is Teeny Button. The color is called Allons-y.
Nice.
And so I'm going to figure out how to do afterthought heel, toe, and cuff with this gray yarn.
Is that what the
No.
That's the David Tennant Doctor, right?
Yes.
Is that the Doctor Who? That's why it's blue.
Yeah. It's Doctor Who, David Tennant. Every time he'd like go somewhere, he'd be like, Allons-y.
Allons-y, which is French for
Let's go.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a textbook with that on the cover. Allons-y. Okay, so I have I used Cascade 220 regular, not superwash, because steaking with superwash is not a good idea because it's slippery. So I used regular Cascade 220, which is just a good plain wool, 100% wool, and I have a ton of this brown and black left over, so I think I'm gonna try to do some booties. I thought about a hat, but it is actually a little scratchy. Feel that? I mean, when it soaks, it'll be a little softer. I mean, for a sweater, it's not bad, but for maybe a baby hat, maybe not. Although this squishy, cushy ribbing is really not scratchy. That might be nice. Oh, this is also the first time I've ever done a tubular cast off, which was fun and easy. Would do again. There's a lot of Kitchener involved.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's a tubular cast on and a cute tubular bind off. And I looked because I thought, maybe I'll make myself one. You can buy the original sweater for $230. Like new, not used. Like they've started producing, the mill that originally produced them in the 70s has started making them again.
Wow.
So
I wonder
cost of yarn.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder how much the yarn would cost if you wanted to make it yourself.
For
because
us,
it would be a lot.
But I mean, for the regular person, regular price, retail value, probably the same. I don't know. Maybe not. But for color work, you want to make sure you have the same brand, I would say, so that it fits well together, so that it plays nicely.
Yeah.
You don't want to use a slightly different weight and get a different gauge on your colors. All right, so I think I'll probably make some booties. Maybe some little moccasins might be cute.
Definitely.
And then we saw a question about crocheted plan pooling, and I'd seen it before. I've never done it, and I joined a Facebook group, Planned Pooling, and I was looking for yarns that we might carry that pool. And the thing is, most of the yarns that you're going to find that pool for the planned pooling crochet, and it looks like argyle. It's really cool, and I'd like to try it.
It would need to be produced by a machine, though, right?
Yes, it needs to be produced by a machine. You can't hand dye and get the accuracy in the striping that you would need. I'm going to try these out. This is Cascade, and this is Barocco. I'm going to try these out. These are two variegated yarns. I'm going to see if they can be pooled. They're not on the list of yarns that have been pulled before. You're going to find like Red Heart and Lion Brand and Karen, all the big box yarn that's mass produced, which is fine. But we don't have a lot of that. We don't have any of the big box yarn. So I'm going to see if I can do it with these. See how it turns out.
Interesting.
It will be.
Cool.
All right, so that's what we've got. Let's give away some stuff. Do you have the thing that we're going to give away?
I totally did not grab it. I'll go grab it now.
Thing.
All right, so here we have it. It is the Godifra Lana Mia cotton sock yarn.
Lovely. Make a pair of socks out of the ball.
Yes, you can.
Make a ball of socks.
Make a ball of socks.
Make a ball of socks. Make a ball of socks. It's Italian.
It is 380 meters. How many grams? How many yards do you think that is?
368.
What is 380 meters in yards?
415.
Oh, wow.
Yards.
So it's 415 yards.
Well, I went the other way.
You went the wrong way.
Wrong way.
I was like, she went the wrong way. I got this.
That looks like it would be a nice pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who are we going to give it to? We had 20 comments. 14. Lucky number 14. All right, Christy Fuller, you are the winner.
Yay!
Congratulations. If you're watching this before we contact you, email us at info@west7thworld.com and let us know how we can get this to you if you would like to come in and pick it up or if we can send it in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
What are we going to give away this week?
What do you think, this?
That's beautiful.
Okay. So here we have a skein of Forbidden Fiber in the Pride base, which is 70% superwash, 20 nylon, 10 stellina, 495 yards.
It's beautiful. They're like 495 yards.
495
so that's
yards.
almost 500 yards of fingering and weight. You can make a nice shawl out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's our question going to be? Oh, how about we do an easy one? What would you make with this?
There you go.
If you won, what would you make? All right, that's beautiful. And this is the Starry Night color that I like so much.
Mm-hmm.
Gemstone blue.
And I'm just going to give it away.
You're just going to give it away.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the stellina yarn out of the shop.
No! All right, so that's it for us this week. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
See you soon.